Okay, guys, so we need to talk about Okta today. I think this is about take 7. I will get this right, I hope. Okta, Essential Energy is starting to put the screws on a bit. They're bored of us using the phone. They don't want us using the phone. The only time they want us to call in is if you're a contractor coming in on a short term and you haven't got Okta sorted out, or you're having tech issues, which is a fairly regular occurrence. We get kicked out, passwords don't work, we run the security question, we can't get back in. So if that's the case, you've got to call me and we get it rectified. You can then call in for the next day or two until it gets rectified. But other than that, everyone else has to be using the Logon app. If you're just calling in all the time, it will get caught up with you and you have the potential to be stood down. Essential Energy actually told me the other day that if you're working outside of the Logon area that you're designated, so if you've called in, you'll only be designated to a single pole, then you'll be considered uncompliant because you're not actually considered logged on at all because you're working outside of your logged on area. So anyway, we'll talk about Logon size for now. So if we have a look at this log here, and you go down to this section here, something I learned the other day, you can identify how many feeders you're working on. So if you click on that, it will tell you that these guys are logged onto 4 separate feeders, which is about as many as you want to be logged onto. If you can keep it under 4, that'd be fantastic. So just say that designated 10, you'd have to go back out, you'd cancel your log, you go back out and you choose a smaller area. So for now, for this example, let's zoom in and we'll set up a log. So create log, grab the circle, which is pretty common, and we'll spool out and choose a relatively large area in town. So it's not uncommon for us to choose an area. So we'll go crew type, climb, save log, we'll have a look at it. So it wasn't uncommon for us to do that. Choose most of Wagga, or not Wagga, an urban centre, and then pot around and work in it all day. But the problem you have is, which you probably just saw, if you go down to feeders, we are on 27 feeders, which is completely unacceptable. We can't be covering that many feeders, guys. So in this circumstance, I would have to log off, go back out. I'll refresh my map so everything works. Sorry, that's put me back where I live. Go back over to Wagga. Okay, let's go back down to Wagga. So what I would like you to do, and what Essential expect you to do, is if I'm going to be working in this area here today, I know I'm going to be working along, say, Mitchell Street. Okay, I'll be working either side of Mitchell Street. So what I'm going to do is create a log. I'm actually going to choose the polygon setting, which gives me a lot of flexibility as to what I can do. So if you tap screen once, you can then go all the way down, tap the screen again, go across, tap the screen again, come all the way up, tap the screen, and close it out there. If we go what crew type I'm going to be and we save the log, you can see I've selected a significant part of Mitchell Street, which will have a bunch of work in there. It'll keep me busy for a fair period of time. If I click on there now and have a look at how many feeders I'm covering, I'm only covering the 3 feeders, which is acceptable. Okay, so I can then work in that area until I'm finished that section of road. As soon as I leave this log, I've got to close the log, log off all, go back, start again, create log, grab my polygon, click, and then I can keep moving along Mitchell Street. Save log, crew type. And there we go. And so with 2 separate logs, I've covered that entire street and I've only covered a maximum of 3 feeders. And that's exactly how we want you to work. Okay. When you leave your log, you log off and you log back on. It's that simple, guys. So that's for an urban environment. We're expecting you to log on and log off. Don't just choose an area that's going to cover 5,000 feeders and stay in it all day. If you're on your phone, if you've got phone access, we're expecting you to be logging on and logging off as you move. So as the truck's driving down the street, get the passenger to relog for where you're going to be. So if you're going to be going to an area that's out of range, and you know it is, for example, I'm going to use my zone because I know this stuff for this area pretty well. I know this is a black spot, and I know if I go out here, there's no phone coverage. So what I'm going to do is before I go out, I'll spool down, I'll create a log, I'll get my polygon, and then actually I won't do my polygon, I'll cancel that. Try that again. Let's just go big square. I can go a big square. That's going to cover quite a section of this easement. Go down, check my feeders. I'm only covering one feeder. Okay. Save that log, crew type, always the crew type. Save the log. You can spool out. You can see I've selected a significant part of the map, but I'm only on one feeder because I'm out of range. I'm on one line. That's fine. As long as you're not covering multitude feeders, you can choose this large area. But please, please, please make use of this toggle and always be checking how many feeders you're covering and ensure you're not covering very many.